This is another project. This blade is, well, for want of a better term, it's a stabbing dagger. It's a blank that I bought from a guy in America somewhere. It cost me about 20 quid. It's quite a nice little blade. I think it's only stainless, there's nothing special about it. Obviously it's taped up because I'm working on it. But I mean, you can get the idea of the kind of blade it is we're dealing with here. It's just a dagger. I've always liked, I think they're stiletto type blades that are sharp on both sides. Obviously this is not a knife for cutting, this is not a knife for craft. As far as I'm concerned, it's a knife for killing, it's a knife for stabbing. That's the only reason one has blades on both sides as far as I'm concerned. Some of you guys out there might think a little differently. These are much better looking knives than the one we're used to. Obviously I keep it nice and wrapped up. I use masking tape because it doesn't stain the blade, it doesn't say stuck behind or anything like that. It's also very cheap compared to any of the other tapes that we can get our hands on over here. Most of you UK guys know we are ripped off left, right and centre in everything we do. The scales are cut from a piece of, I believe it was the Swedish firm that does all the furniture. You all know exactly what it is, but the name escapes me at the moment. This is cut from what's left of a wardrobe that I accidentally fell on when I was messing around with my kids once, and I basically smashed it to smithereens. It's a canvas and wood wardrobe. This is the first time I've ever attempted to do this. They're quite thick, much thicker than they need to be. I don't have a rasp or you know, a semicircular file, so I'm doing this with these standard sanding block, which obviously I can cut this sandpaper down and wrap it around there. A sheet of sandpaper on a flat surface gives you a way to do this. Obviously very slow, and this is a touch-up marker for your bathroom grout, but it's about the right sort of size for me to wrap a piece of sandpaper around, and then I can do, I've done most of this just basically like that. Again, very slow, very laborious, but you're much better off taking a little bit off at a time than taking too much off. I've left the blade, or the tang, sticking out the back because over time I've found a preference for knives that have actually got a piece of metal out the back for knocking nails in, smashing glass. It's got all manner of uses. You know, you can even use that as a striker for your ferro rod if you really want to. But anyway, this is an ongoing project. I will keep you guys updated as I go. I don't sit down and robotically do these projects until they're finished. I tend to take my time. I'll do it a bit at a time. The large seal knife I just showed you probably took me over a week to do. I'm just going to sort my tea out, won't be a second. The large seal knife probably took me over a week to do, doing it half hour, 20 minutes at a time. Obviously the initial grinding, very quick indeed. But the profile in it with a Lansky, I've only got 3 stones in my Lansky. Coarse, fine and super fine or something like that, so it's very, very, very slow process. Probably took me between 4 and 6 hours. I didn't really time it very well. Obviously the seal pup is going to take a lot less because it's clearly a much smaller blade. It's nearly half the size, so you know it's not too bad. And there's the fat old lady that stands outside the bus stop. I suppose that I shouldn't really point the camera out there because it's invading her privacy or something, but she's quite a way off as well. I don't know whether this thing will zoom. This woman just spends half her life standing at the bus stop. I'll try and zoom. I don't think it will. Yes, it's going to. Yes, she is. She spends probably an hour a day standing at that bus stop, waiting. Oh, and look what else is here.